Hello and welcome to the What's Good with Gil and Larry podcast on the Box Office Buzz 302 YouTube channel. As always, I am joined by my main man, Mr. LL himself, Larry Loper. I am Gilly Rosari. Let's get right to it. What are we going to start with this week? Not football, not basketball, not wrestling. Actually, we're not going to do wrestling at all. We're going to start with boxing. Pow, pow,
Boxing?
pow.
It's a
Boxing.
boxing match, Gil?
We're
It's
gonna.
a boxing
There is
match?
actually a boxing match
Is
that
it?
some people are talking about. Some people, and this is what I want to ask you: are
Okay.
people really interested in the next Jake Paul fight? Because he is actually not the headliner. I think only 2 times he's fought, he hasn't been the headliner. Last time was against old man Mike Tyson, which was
Yeah.
ridiculous that people actually thought Tyson might win prior to them actually fighting. But no, now this time he was supposed to fight Tank Davis, but he got in some domestic
Yeah.
problems. So now he has upgraded, or did he upgrade? At least physically, he upgraded to my main man, Anthony Joshua, representing the UK. Now, you tell me,
hmm
is this an upgrade in competition like most people think it is? Like I think it is, but you are more the boxing
Right.
aficionado.
Right.
So you
No.
tell me, would it have been a tougher fight for Jake to fight Davis or
Mhm.
Joshua, or does it really matter? Would he have beaten both or would he have lost to both? Because these are
Nah.
real boxers that are still boxing.
Yeah. My opinion, man, I think the Tank Davis fight would have been way more of a harder fight for Jake Paul beating instead of Anthony Joshua. And people say, well, he's bigger than him. He's bigger than him, but you gotta think Tank can actually fight. Like his skill level is really up there, and that's going to nullify size. Skill could nullify size, but in boxing, it definitely can. Um, when you have this, because what he's going to do, he's going to be smart enough to know, okay, I can't go toe to toe with this guy. Cool. But I know when to kind of take my shots, stamina, in and out. He's smart. So it's going to be calculated. He ain't going to just let this big dude just punch on him. His speed was going to be a factor, and he knows how to take a punch. Um, the difference is between my opinion, between Anthony and Joshua is the fact, yeah, he has the size, but he don't have the chin.
Mm.
So Jake Paul could get a shot in, and Jake Paul hits hard. And if you hit hard and if you don't have the skill set to dodge the punch, because as we know, Anthony Joshua chin ain't solid, bro. So I could see Jake Paul landing some shots. If he catch him the right way, he's gonna put him to sleep, man. He's gonna put him to sleep. Now, I think he's smart enough to know to kind of stay out his range a little bit. As I've been watching Jake Paul, he comes prepared. He doesn't come to the fight sloppy. You know what I mean? Um, and the only thing you can say about Anthony and Josh was that, yeah, he got power, but his power, he doesn't know how to set it up. He doesn't know how to set it up. So he's
Mm.
not fighting a super skilled heavyweight. He's just fighting a big guy. So I don't know. I don't know. I probably lean towards Jake Paul in this fight, believe it or not. I'll lean towards Jake Paul in this fight. Um, yeah, I'm gonna lean Jake Paul in this fight, man. I think he's gonna catch him with a shot. I think he's
Mm.
gonna catch him with a shot. I thought Tank would have gave him way more of a challenge.
Mm.
Yeah,
Interesting. So you're saying that even though the last time Anthony Joshua fought a guy in boxing that didn't really have a big boxing background was Francis Ngannou,
yeah,
former UFC heavyweight champion who specializes in striking, and
you're
he's
right.
got grenades in his hands. Anthony Joshua beat him. Anthony Joshua stopped him, TKO'd him. You think Jake Paul will be more of a threat? Now, there is a big size discrepancy. This is the first time. I mean, Jake Paul is not a heavyweight. He's not a
Right.
true heavyweight. He's probably what's the class under heavyweight? Is that cruiserweight? Is that what
Yeah.
that is?
Yeah. Cruiser.
Cruiser. He's probably like a cruiserweight. The only heavyweight that's, around about his size was Mike Tyson, who was always a small heavyweight. Anthony Joshua is gigantic.
He is.
Gigantic. I mean, if he could set up the jab a little bit,
Right. That's what I'm
keep
saying.
keep the distance. I mean, to me, this is me, not an expert, just kind of a, you know, fan, I guess. To me, Anthony Joshua wins this fight, finishes this fight.
Well, we thought that Mike Tyson Oberheim was going to do
Not
something with it.
me, not
Yeah.
I. That's not what I said. I
Yeah.
said I said Jake Paul was going to win.
Um. I mean,
Anthony
Anthony
Joshua's
Joshua.
not 58 years old
He's
with a knee
not.
brace on.
Anthony Joshua should win this fight. You're right, Gil. He should win this fight. But I would not be surprised Jake Paul catch it with a shot, man. Um, and if Anthony Joshua sleeps on Jake Paul, because sometimes they take these guys for granted, man. It's
Mhm,
going to be a big fight. Either which way, it's a big fight. It's a big draw because we want to
mhm,
see Jake Paul get punished. You know, it's like watching Logan Paul. You want to see him lose in wrestling. You know what I mean? He has,
mhm,
he has a good skill set, but you want to see him lose. He's the ultimate villain.
mhm,
Um, and in Jake Paul's situation, it's not that he's a villain. It's just the fact that they don't look at him as a traditional boxer. And he's doing a bigger draw than traditional boxers are.
mhm,
So that's the issue here. So they just want to see somebody just fight up and or somebody that has a skill set to go in there and beat on them. Because you're always picking fighters that seem to be out their prime or just doesn't add up very well. Either which way, he has an advantage somehow, some way. So, like you said, this is the first fight he has a disadvantage on paper. He has a disadvantage. And if he goes in there and he doesn't fight a smart fight, then you're right. Anthony Joshua should easily beat him with the jab. Easy beat him with the jab. He hit hard. I mean, shoot, he hard too.
mhm.
So you get hit by a heavyweight. It's a different punch. So
Now,
he just got
what do you
smart.
think of the stipulation? And there's only one stipulation.
What was it?
Anthony Joshua, his weight limit can only be 245, which means he's got to cut about 30 pounds from his normal fighting weight.
Man,
And
shoot.
I don't think he's ever cut weight as a professional,
Yeah,
as
that's
a
see,
heavyweight, and 30 pounds, you do
see,
that
Gil,
like the
we
week
already
of the
starting.
fight. And
We always
doesn't that make you susceptible to being
yes,
knocked out when you got to cut that
yes.
kind of weight?
Well, you looked at Ryan Garcia when we fought
Hmm.
Tank.
And he
The
didn't
no,
cut 30
he
pounds.
couldn't hydrate. He couldn't
Hmm.
hydrate. And all fighters do this. They'll cut weight and hydrate and
Hmm.
get to a bigger weight, their natural
Hmm.
fighting weight, right? He looked drained. He looked naturally drained. He did not have the energy, the power, anything. It's
Hmm.
very hard on the body when you're used to walking a certain weight and you're carrying that weight, and then you ask to come down and trim down. You're talking about 30 pounds lighter.
Hmm.
Even yeah, you still heavy, but that's light though.
Hmm.
It's the stamina part, bro. It's the stamina part. It's not the power part. Is what if Jake Paul can fight a smart fight and get him into the later rounds? And how many rounds is it for this fight?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
So I'm assuming it's going to be at least six,
I'm gonna say at least 8,
at
but
least
I don't
eight. All
know.
right, cool. So if he can get him past, I say the fourth or fifth. Now stamina starts to play a factor.
Hmm.
Now that starts to play a factor. Because Joshua got to come out kind of strong and kind of do him in the first two, maybe 3 rounds.
Hmm.
Advantage Joshua. Fourth and better, advantage Jake Paul. And that's when I think Joshua will be suspect to the knockout because your legs start getting weak. It's your legs. Your legs start getting weak when you start losing stamina.
I agree with that. So that just tells me that Joshua's gonna win inside of 4 rounds.
There you go.
If
There
if
you
he's
go.
really in danger to losing his weight and I mean losing his stamina
Yeah, you can't
and
play with him.
needing to rehydrate, because you know that's such a toll on the body to cut that kind of. If you haven't done it, you really got to think about it, or you just have no idea. And you know, Anthony Joshua, he's kind of like a little bit on the decline now of
Sure,
his career.
sure.
So to be cutting that kind of way, but ultimately, I think he's the true boxer. He's the former champion. He
Yeah,
knows his body, and he knows if it's going to be a problem after the fourth round, I got to get this guy up out of here. I'm
yeah,
bigger, I'm stronger, I'm better, I got more skills, I've got the
yeah.
resume.
And I don't think that, especially if Jake Paul is to get some punches in, and if Anthony Joshua, now this is me in the side on the side of Anthony. I told you my side of Jake Paul. Now let me explain the
Mhm,
side of Anthony Joshua. If Jake Paul gives him a real good shot and he's able to eat that shot and he's starting to feel like his power is not a factor, then it's going to be a bad fight for Jake Paul, because if I don't respect your power, that means I'm gonna start walking you down.
mm,
I'm gonna walk you down. You know, I might get the people the first round, just so the people are getting to see you on a little show. But then the second, third, I'm gonna really start to box you, and then I'm gonna really start to cut this ring off for you. I'm gonna really start to my will is going to start to take over. And that's where the boxer versus the non-boxer comes in at. You know what I'm saying? That part. Like you're saying with Agondo, he was not a true boxer. You know
mhm,
what I mean? He's a UFC. You pit Anthony Joshua in that same UFC octagon. It's a whole different fight. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
But you went to his world
mhm,
and a smart fight. No different when Conor McGregor fought Floyd.
mhm,
You take Floyd in UFC, he ain't winning that fight.
mhm,
You go into his world, the boxer kicks in. So we
mhm,
looking at it from that angle. If once again I don't respect your power, now the boxer going to kick in, and I'm going to show you this what I do. And for Anthony Joshua, we should take it personal. Should really take it personal, because you are representing boxing.
mhm,
Okay, so you should not lose to a YouTuber, you know, that guy, TikTok or whatever you want to call him. You shouldn't be losing to that guy. He got to start to respect this sport, and you
mhm.
got to be the guy to make him respect this sport. That's how I would take it. I would take it as you disrespecting my sport.
Right.
I work hard in this thing, and you think you can just jump in here and play with my sport? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna make an example out you. That's how I would do it. If ain't no hidden clauses outside of just I can't hydrate. You dig?
Mhm. I uh I think the all the pressure is on Anthony Joshua for the
Yes.
reasons you just said. He's the boxer, he's the former world champion. Um and also Jake Paul knows no more excuses, no more. You're not fighting a real fighter. You're not fighting anyone in your weight class. You're not fighting a fighter in his prime, 2 decades after his prime, stuff like that. This is a guy who's still fighting. Maybe he's not in his complete prime, but he's still there. He's still up there. And he wins this. He shuts up almost everybody.
He does.
Almost everybody.
He does. You gotta take him
Almost.
serious. You have to
Yeah.
start to take him serious
You
right
can't
now.
you can't just call him a YouTuber that
Nah,
boxes. You got to say no, this guy's a
nah,
boxer.
he's a boxer. He's a boxer. You know. So for him, this is like this is for him a legacy fight for him. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because after this is like okay, I don't think he's gonna get that draw anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So this could hurt his brand also. He's taking a big risk out here, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because that could definitely hurt his brand if he doesn't deliver the goods. You dig what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Let's just for poops and giggles, let's just say Jake wins. He wins
Okay.
by decision. He clearly wins, but it's by decision.
Okay.
Who's next for Jake Paul? Do you wait for Tank or do you look for someone else? Do you think
You want me to throw a name out there, a big fish? That's gonna be a huge draw. That
yes?
he loves money, and it's just gonna be a money fight. You talking about
Like
a nice
like
money
like
fight?
this fight because people were like, why did Anthony Joshua take this fight? Because of the
It's a
money,
money fight. It's a money
huge
fight.
huge
Huge
purse.
fight.
Yeah,
Yeah. What purse would you see out there that would be a huge purse?
A
If he beats
huge
Anthony Joshua, who can deliver a huge purse?
to be hit to be his next opponent.
Yes.
Uh, Canelo.
You think Canelo?
I think Canelo.
Okay.
That's a whoever you're thinking of, that's a bigger purse.
Okay.
Canelo is a bigger purse. He's coming off of a loss, and Jake Paul has been calling him out for 2 years.
I was thinking
And
Floyd.
they are kind of comparable size wise. Comparable.
Canelo,
Comparable.
Canelo beat that boy. He'll beat that boy. But as far as the money, I was actually thinking Floyd.
I think Floyd's over, dude. Floyd already fought his brother. He already fought Logan, and it was a
It,
draw.
it
It
was a
was a
draw.
draw. It was a draw because of the stipulations, because the
Yeah.
stipulation was Mayweather had to knock him out.
Okay.
And he
Okay.
didn't knock him out. It
He did
went to
not.
a decision. And even though Floyd won more rounds, he didn't knock him out.
Canelo
So
said he was open for it too. Canelo said he was open for the thought of fighting him too. So there could be a do fight. I mean, he just lost
that's
to Crawford.
he just lost.
Um,
I mean,
the
I'd see
only
that.
fight they
I'd
said,
see that fight. I'd see
yeah,
that. I think
the only
Canelo
fight
would beat the brakes off of
he'll
him,
be the breakout
but
Jake Paul.
Canelo is starting to go down a little bit
Yeah, but
too.
he ain't lose no Jake Paul. You gotta think he lost to a great fighter. He
Hmm.
lost to a generational, as we say, generational talent. He fought
Hmm.
a generational talent. It's
100%.
not easy to do what Crawford did. Okay,
Hmm.
he didn't knock him out.
No, he
He
didn't.
just outboxed him. You hear me?
Hmm.
So yeah, his decline still is superb.
Hmm.
He's not no bum. Like nobody's going to just beat Canelo. Okay,
Hmm.
you got to really box Canelo. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? So Jake Paul ain't got that skill set at all.
And
At all.
he's never been knocked out, right?
Never.
Canelo, he's never been
Ever.
knocked out.
Ever. His losses can't nope, because Bivol he only got 3 losses. Bivol didn't knock him out. He went up in weight, which was a challenge. He went up in weight. Crawford beat him by decision. Outboxed him. Both of these dudes outboxed. All the people they lost
And,
to had
and
impeccable.
Mayweather.
Yeah, and Mayweather.
And Mayweather.
Mayweather caught him when he was younger, so he wasn't as seasoned in the ring. So I
I
thought the
I think the first Gennady Golovkin fight, where it was
well,
called a draw,
well,
I think Triple G won. My
I
opinion. I thought he
I
won.
I believe he did too, but I could see why it was a draw because at that time when Triple G was in that position, he was knocking jokers out.
Hmm.
Everybody that he went across, they wasn't making it to the end. He was knocking them out. So Canelo, and I believe Canelo went up in weight to fight Triple
Hmm.
G, didn't he? So
Yeah,
by him not
middleweight.
getting
Yeah.
knocked out, and he was able to still do what he did. He played a great defensive fight, and he was able to tangle with him. So in that sense, I can see why it was a tie because
Mhm.
Triple G didn't impose his will on him. You know what I'm saying? That why. I can see why. Yeah.
I see why, but I think Triple G
If
won.
you don't knock the champ out, you're right. If the champion don't get knocked out and the champion didn't fight a bad fight, the champ got to win. You gotta give him the dub. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? But it's politics in
Oh, of
boxing.
course. They wanted a rematch.
You know that go. It's
What's
a bigger
bigger than a
draw.
super fight? Two super fights.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
big
of
draw.
course. Of course. All right. So that is our take on the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight, which will be December 19th in Miami.
In Miami.
And you can catch it on Netflix. So if you got Netflix, you'll be watching it for free.
Yes,
Can't beat
sir.
that.
Can
Can't
beat
beat
that.
that.
Can beat
You'll have, you
but
might have a few crappy undercard fights, but I gotta say, the Canelo Terrence Crawford fight, those
all three of
undercard
those
fights,
fights
they
were
were
great.
all good.
Yeah, they were
They
good.
were all good. The one was amazing.
Yeah.
Was amazing. And that's why it was called a draw. So yeah. So check it out. We'll probably bring it up our show right before the fight happens, just to remind the people in case something new has come up and stuff like that to get you all hyped about it. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the association. The
Yeah,
National Basketball Association, that
hey
is.
man, it's still early season.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's a long season. It's 80-game season.
Bronny's
80,
back. LeBron, I mean,
he's back, but
Braun.
it's Luka's team. It's
Yeah.
definitely Luka Doncic's team. There's no question about it. And Bron, Bron came back and yeah, I think he's starting to understand, like, okay, cool. I got somebody who it's his team. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Bron had come in, and that was my biggest curiosity is how was he going to be adapt to the team and how was the team going to adapt to him? And I see now that Bron is just filling a role. He's like, okay, cool. If Luka's going to be a drop in 30 a game, let me just contribute, do what I do. You know what I'm saying? Don't take away from this guy because this guy right here is balling.
Mm-hmm.
Luka's balling.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Reeves is balling. They got a nice
Mm-hmm.
team, man. They got a nice team, man.
They got a
So
nice team.
they got a nice team, man. They really do. And I'm gonna give JJ Redick his props. He's not a bad coach. He's
Mm-hmm.
not a bad coach. He's not. You know what I mean? So
He's assertive. He's got that.
who he
I know,
remind you
I
of?
know, I know you're LeBron, but I'm the coach and I'm in charge.
Who he
And I
remind
don't
you of?
think LeBron's had that since Phil Jackson.
Braun
Oh
played
wait,
for Phil
no,
Jackson.
he
He played
actually
for Phil
didn't. No, I'm
Jackson.
thinking Lakers. I'm
Yeah,
thinking
Kobe.
Lakers.
Yeah, Kobe played for Phil Jackson. Oh
So,
no, he hasn't had that.
Did he play for Pat Riley? No,
No,
he
no,
played
he played
for
for Spoelstra. Spoelstra.
Spolstra.
I think the closer I could say he had that type of dynamic where the coach wasn't too intimidated by him and they kind of had that communication. Lou, Ty Lue. Yep, when he was in.
Yeah,
Yep, Ty Lue.
yeah.
Because Ty Lue was
I think JJ is more stoic though. Ty Lue, yes, he has the respect from LeBron more than just a coach that's coached
right.
him. But I think JJ walks around like this
Who he remind you of?
with the serious face and the folded arms.
Who reminds you of as coach?
Serious with the folded arms.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Who are you thinking?
Pat Riley. A
Did,
modern version of Pat Riley in his time. Think about it. Pat
yeah.
Riley came.
Did Pat Riley have
He
his
did.
arms full? He did. All right.
He
All
did.
right.
He did.
Lakers Pat Riley.
Yup, Lakers Pat Riley. Yup. With Magic, with Magic and transition, it
Mhm,
wasn't really Magic. It was Kareem. It was
mhm.
Kareem. Kareem was Kareem was Kareem, man.
Yeah.
So Pat Riley had to come in and really be assertive and be like, okay, we're going to do it this way. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because they had a way of doing it with Paul Unsfeld and it just wasn't working very well. So when Pat Riley came in, it was he was assertive. He gonna do it his way, and that's when the Showtime Lakers took off.
Excuse me.
So I think that Pat, I think JJ has that same type of demeanor. You know, and you need that type, especially in that market, in LA market. You need that type of presence. You know what I mean? Because they so
He
used to
just
tips.
he looks like he's in charge. He looks like he's the guy. Like the buck stops with it starts and stops with
For
him.
sure, for
And
sure.
he kind of he looks the part. I wasn't sure because he was friendly with LeBron and he actually came
Yeah,
into the league after LeBron, a couple years after,
yeah,
so he's a little younger than LeBron. Um, and I know they did podcasts together, but it just looks like like, hey, you're in,
yeah.
you're out,
And I think they trust
that
him
kind of
too.
deal. And
Yeah.
I got to give LeBron credit, man. He came back like that second game. He's like, oh, I'm just trying to get my sea legs. I had no training camp. His stat line was 17,
Oh,
7, and 6.
that's crazy.
And people were like, oh, give him a month and it'll look more like a LeBron stat line. 17, 7, and 6. That was Scottie Pippen in his prime.
In his prime,
Scottie Pippen didn't average 20 points.
that's crazy.
That's Scottie Pippen in his prime. And
That's
that's LeBron now.
on as they say, on a decline.
Yeah, in his 40s,
But then again,
in his 23rd season.
we're gauging this. We're gauged to a league that doesn't play defense. We're
Oh,
gauging it to a league that doesn't play defense, bro.
okay.
Come on. I just named our last show 5 people that's averaging 32 and better. Or I'm sorry, 34, 32, 31. Come on, Gil. Only person that was averaging that back in them days was who? Michael Jeffrey Jordan, Karl Malone,
Mm-hmm.
and
Dominique,
Shaq, and maybe Shaq when he came on, right?
Dominique, Dominique.
Yeah, Dominic
He
and
was
80,
28 a game.
28, 30. Yeah. Okay. Right.
Yeah, Dominique in Atlanta.
Yup.
Um, a pre Tim Duncan. So I would say David Robinson. He was averaging.
Averaging
He
30.
led the league in scoring 1 year.
Okay, cool. Then we transition to this don't play defense league, right? Now, when AI played ball, Allen Iverson, right?
Yeah, he didn't
I
play
think
defense, by the
I
way.
think that I think it was certain people that did play in that league because, and I wanted to bring this up before I get to disappointing and my disappointing so far and surprise team, right? Because it was a conversation that was brought up. Kenya Martin,
Yeah.
him and
Oh, I
Draymond.
saw
Yeah,
that with
yeah.
his top list of power forwards. Did you
Yes,
see
and
that?
Draymond had an issue with it.
Yep.
Draymond was like, Kenyon had a disappointing career, right? Because he didn't get
Right.
a chip. So then,
It's
um,
more than that, but yeah, I heard I've been paying attention to this. I'm glad you brought it up because
I want to see your opinion on that
I
whole thing.
agree kind of with both guys. But what
Okay,
I love is Draymond Green is used to being the bully on the
yeah,
court, off the court, and Kenyon is bullying the bully, and I love it. I love it. Love it. But go ahead. Go
like
ahead.
he was saying, he said we're gonna keep it basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who you think you're gonna be intimidating outside of basketball. I ain't dumb, and you know I
Mm-hmm.
get busy. That's what he's
Mm-hmm.
saying. But he said keep
Mm-hmm.
basketball. He said I don't know nothing about being a second round draft pick. I wanted to come into the league as a number one pick. I did that. Okay. I went to a team that was trash the year I got before I got there. Second year, we went to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Went again, right? Uh, I played defense. I was on the top guys, and I played in an era where the power forwards were quite arguably the best power forwards ever. I played in that era, and I had matchups in that era, and
Mm-hmm.
I could agree with him on that joint. We can name them. It was
Mm-hmm.
the top power forwards probably came from that era, bro. No lie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then he was saying that through a reconstructed ankle, knee, the numerous injuries he had. He transitioned into another team, got traded for 3 first-round draft picks. 3. So he still had value, right? Went to another team and was required to be a shutdown defender and score. Not no light, not no light 10, 10, and none of that. He said, I scored. Physical, all that. Yes, you was on a team where you had one of the best 2 players for his tandems in Klay Thompson and Steph, right? Then you got another one when you got Kevin Durant, for better or worse, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you was on a super stacked team. You didn't go up against a team like LA at that time with one of the best centers in the game and Kobe Bryant, one of the best guards to do it, right? So that was Kenya's argument. You know what I'm saying? So what was your take on that?
A lot. Like I said, I thought both guys made good points. I really did because I thought Draymond Green and saying and pointing out Kenyon Martin's resume. I think you can say Kenyon Martin was kind of a disappointment. He didn't live up to being the number one overall pick. He was never the best player on any team that he was on. Never. Because when he first came into the league, he got injured and
Yep,
missed a year. When he got healthy, Stephon Marbury was the best player on the team.
it was.
Then Marbury got traded for Kidd. Kidd was the best player.
Yep.
And I'm not sure Kenyon was the second best player
Because,
because Richard
Vince Carter,
Jefferson
But then,
Once Richard Jefferson went from sixth man to starter,
yeah.
he might have been the second best player.
Then you had
Kenyon
Vince
Martin
Carter.
was very unreliable scoring wise.
Then you had Vince Carter on that team too.
Then eventually, no more Kerry Kittles. They lost a couple guys, and they did. They had Vince Carter. Then Vince Carter was definitely better than Kenyon Martin. Jason Kidd still definitely better than Kenyon Martin. So he was no better than the second best player on the team. Most of the time, he was like the third best player.
Okay,
Now you could now you could say the same thing about Draymond.
that's a
He
fact.
was in his prime, he was the third best player on the team. And
Yeah,
then maybe he became the second best player. Maybe. So
yeah,
so both of them are like that, but the difference is one team won four
yeah,
championships. The other team went to the finals in back-to-back years.
yeah.
Now, two things you got to ask yourself. Just the eye test. Who was the better player? Who was the better team player,
Better team
one-on-one
player.
player, however you want to categorize it? Who was the better? If they played each other one-on-one or playing on a team, who do you think contributed more? Who was the better player taking the eye test? Kenyon Martin or Draymond Green? Because the one thing I think Draymond Green has is he could shoot the three. He could
Yeah,
spot up. He won't create his own three-point shot, but when he's open and they pass it to him in rotation, he could knock it down in his prime.
yeah,
Kenyon Martin couldn't. Kenyon Martin really had a weird flat shot.
yeah. I
Now, I'm
would.
not saying that I think Kenyon actually might have been the better scorer,
Yeah.
but Draymond was the better shooter.
I would probably give it to Draymond because what Draymond does on his team is more um impactful
Mm-hmm.
than what Kenya did on his team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
Draymond rebounds, Draymond runs the offense.
Mm-hmm.
He really do.
Mm-hmm.
He defends. He's an energy guy. Um,
Kenyon never really had to play center. He's
no,
actually a little bit taller than Draymond. I think Draymond's 6'7" and Kenyon's 6'9". And I'm just gonna assume physically they're about the same weight and strength. Um, but Kenyon never, maybe for short stretches when they wanted to go small, but generally speaking, he played power forward. He
right.
probably played small forward at times as much as he did center. Draymond played power forward and center. He played center a lot, and he was, six
What?
seven.
Well, I think the center, the league was different. You
Mm-hmm.
feel me?
It
They were
was.
way more dominant centers when
Mm-hmm.
Kenyon Martin was playing that really played center.
I
Not
agree.
no big five. I'm a popping a big five that's jumping threes, shooting threes like Embiid and
Mm-hmm.
them. You know what I mean? No, I'm talking about like I'm going to the paint and I'm gonna punish you,
Mm-hmm.
and and it would have been hard for Kenyon to defend a center
Mm-hmm.
back then. Now Draymond doesn't have that same thing because it's only you can name them. There's
Mm-hmm.
only what 3 or 4 dominant centers, and I'm gonna say one that's a dominant center, and that's
Mm-hmm.
Joker to me.
Mm-hmm.
He's dominant because
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't take no breaks. Okay, if you a little dude, he gonna punish you in that paint. If
Mm-hmm.
you're a big dude, I can pop out, hit the tray, assist, whatever I gotta do. You know what I mean? And B would be in that category with me if he would just dominate, but he doesn't want to dominate.
Mm-hmm.
He takes off. He bails people out. He flops. He's always on the daggone ground. He on the ground more than AI was. AI was 6 foot at best 6 foot. He deserved to be on the ground. You're
Mm-hmm.
7 foot and 280. Why are you on the ground so much, buddy? Anyway, so it's just the errors why
Mm-hmm.
that assignment was like that. And Kenya had to play power forward because once again he had a tough assignment every night at the power forward.
Mm-hmm.
You're not getting that in this league like that where you can say the power forward is dominant like that. It's a guard driven league right now, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Know this. It's a guard driven league, And if you are a center or a big man, it's stretched. There's way more space on the floor. They don't congest the paint. You know what I'm saying? It's none of that. There's none of
Oh,
that.
all right, so I'll end it with this. because obviously the big trump card that Draymond Green has over Kenyon Martin is the 4 championships, and he went to 5 finals. But was it 5 or
It's
was
fine.
it 6? No, it was 6, right? Because they lost to Toronto, right?
They lost Toronto and beat
They
Boston.
lost to Toronto and they lost to Cleveland.
They did lose to Cleveland.
So he's been to 6, won 4. Kenyon's only been to 2, didn't win any. So now we're talking about different errors right now. So here's the question. Does any of the 4 teams that won the championship for Golden State, do they beat the teams that beat the Nets? Do they beat the Lakers? And do they beat the San Antonio Spurs?
Oh man, come on, man. We can't have that conversation, bro.
Why
We
not? It's fun.
can't. We
Why not?
can't.
Now I know it's 2 different errors. So
Can't.
so you
We
look
can't, bro.
for
What?
okay, so
Because if you trying to tell me that because you gotta think about it. You gotta take now. It's hard. I can't even do it, America. It's very hard. It's my
all right,
argument.
well I'll help you talk it through.
We'll definitely talk about
So
this.
Kobe is going to have to play primarily against Clay
Yeah,
Thompson. No, Clay Thompson.
Kobe's going to take the assignment and want to play. He's going to want to.
He might take Steph in the 4th quarter,
Yeah,
but
he's going to want to lock Steph up. But okay, he got Clay. I give you Clay.
he's got
Okay.
Clay. He edges out Clay, but it's not a big gap.
Derek Fisher
right?
wasn't bad. Derek Fisher wasn't a bad defender.
He was a very good defender, but I think
Okay.
Steph would have got him in foul trouble.
Um,
I think he would have cooked Fisher. Just like I think Draymond and who's ever playing center against Shaq would have
found out.
smashed him. He would
Found
have
out.
smashed
So
him.
it's hard because I got Shaq that dominate the paint.
Mm-hmm.
You're not stopping Shaq. He's going to get his right.
And
I got
I
Pop.
don't think anybody
Nobody
slows down
stopping him.
Steph.
Okay,
I don't
I
think
got Kobe.
anybody slows down
Who's,
Steph.
who's,
And
who's,
then 2 of those titles are with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's
now,
gonna smoke both those teams.
now,
He's gonna
now,
smoke them
now,
both.
the Kevin
You think
Durant,
Rick Fox is gonna slow down?
with the Kevin Durant, I don't know because Cleveland. Hold up, hold up? Cleveland beat Kevin Durant team, so I'm not. Hold up, no, I'm not going there.
Wait, whoa.
No,
No, they
no,
didn't.
Kevin Durant was on that team. Yes,
No,
he
they
was.
didn't.
When they lost the chip, Kevin Durant lost the chip in Golden State.
No, he lost to Toronto when he blew his Achilles. He did not lose to Cleveland. He beat Cleveland back-to-back years.
Okay, so
He was cooking LeBron. Shooting over LeBron.
So Toronto, he lost Toronto, but he blew his Achilles, right?
He blew his Achilles in the series, yeah.
Okay, so I can't even put that on him. All right, with the Kevin Durant team, no, I think they beat LA because it's too many scores. Without Kevin Durant, I think LA wins because of Shaq and Kobe, and I'm gonna give them that. They were that dominant.
What about San Antonio?
And you gotta be San Antonio was that team. We're talking about Duncan Tim Duncan,
Robinson.
Mm-hmm. No, you're not beating them, man. You're not beating them. You're not
Ginobili, Parker.
You're not beating them. They're not beating them. I'll stand on that. They're not
Steven Jackson coming off the bench.
Steven Jackson. They had an awesome team, bro. And they played defense. No, sir. And they had scores. And you wasn't stopping Duncan, Mr. Fundamental. He was going to get his. And who won? And then you got the Twin Towers you got to worry about. And they got scores. And they had a defender. Wasn't Bruce Bowen on that team?
Yeah.
Yeah, us lockdown defender. That's all he did was defend.
Yes, he was.
So, no, they're not beating San Antonio. And Steph going to get his, but Pop, and that's a Pop-led team, right? Great coach.
You know who else was on that team coming off the bench? Steve Kerr.
Oh my God, the coach. It's impossible, right? Because you can't play yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But knockdown 3 guy, right? They just had an awesome team. No, you're not beating San Antonio. No. So I think that to Kenyon's credit, he had a way tougher road. You know what I mean? Because you asked me, could the Nets have beat Cleveland? Yes, I believe your Nets could have beat Cleveland with Jason Kidd at the helm. I do. I think they're athletically would have had the matchups. You know what I'm saying?
I think that first team that went to the finals could have beat Cleveland because they still had Keith Van Horn. They had
They
Richard
would.
Jefferson coming off the bench. They had Kerry Kittles, Kidd when he was at his absolute best.
Yeah.
Kenyon Martin.
Yeah.
They had who was the Canadian center they had? Todd McCullough.
Yeah, Tom McCullough. Oh, yeah, they had Tom McCullough. You're right, they did. Used to be ex-Sixer.
He used to
Yep.
be. It's funny when he was a Sixer, he was Todd McCullough. When he went to the Nets, he was Todd McCulloch. It's like he
McCullough.
changed. It's like he changed his name, McCulloch. Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Before we move on to the next segment, right, I just want to bring up a couple teams, man. The first team I want to bring up was Detroit, man. They
How
balling.
about Detroit with
They
that
balling, bro.
streak?
They balling, bro. 13 in a row. They're balling. Like, oh, man, it's great. And it's great because it's been a while since we've seen Detroit like this.
Look at them 2 years ago. How awful they were
They
two
were the
years ago.
worst team.
Yeah.
They were the worst
They were
team.
challenging for the worst record
Yes, ever.
ever.
Now look what happened. Pancake and flip, right? And
Mhm.
another team that surprised me,
Pancake had. Oh my God. I'm going to use that.
the
Sorry.
pancake flip. So check it, man. Now Toronto got a team, bro. Toronto actually got a team this year, man. And when Brandon Ingram got traded to Toronto, I said, oh man, what they doing, man? You know,
Mhm.
shout out to Brandon Ingram. He went to a better situation. They want to gamble with Zion Williamson, which is the dumbest thing that New Orleans could have ever done, was gamble on a guy who has not been there since day one. You're bugging. Okay, that's why you are a bottom feeder and you have no hope. And another disappointing team, I'm sure you'll agree with me, Gil, the Clippers. But
Mhm.
I, bro, I don't know what to say about him. I really don't. Bradley Bill's done for the year. Well, he was done before he got there. Kawhi Leonard's on borrowed minutes every other 3 games. Feel me? James Harden is doing his thing. He's doing his thing. Can't say nothing about James Harden. He is doing his thing by himself. Okay. It is a sad case because I love the owner, man. I think he's passionate, man. But he has
Look at that arena.
oh,
Oh my
beautiful.
gosh, that arena is like
Hey, Gil.
it's like a circus without a circus.
Gil, remember we should always say, man, LA, imagine LA Clippers get their own stadium. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now they got a state of art stadium with a
Yeah,
bum team.
it is awesome.
With a bum
I
team.
remember when WWE went there for a show and they had the drone flying around. Oh my
Crazy.
gosh.
Hey,
That's
Gil.
also where Hulk Hogan got booed, by the way.
Man.
Rest in peace, Hulkster.
Hulk Hogan, man. Hey, Gil.
Yeah.
We have to do that. I want to do us America put us out there when what's good with Gil and Larry goes national syndicate level, big pesos, right?
Mhm.
My goal is to do every stadium in the Americas.
Well, it's not a stadium, it's an arena.
That
And
part too.
you want to do every like NFL stadium and
Yes.
every
Yes.
NBA arena.
Yes. Yes. I know it's gonna cost some bread. I know it's gonna
Well,
cost
yeah,
some
I mean,
bread.
if you're gonna dream, what about some college stadiums? I would
Now I'm
love to
good off
go to the
that.
Big House and see Michigan. I would love to go to the Horseshoe and see Ohio State, and I
Okay.
would love to go to South Bend and see
All right,
Notre
cool.
Dame.
All right, well, that could work. That's doable. That's doable. I could do that, right? I know you think I'm crazy for saying what I'm saying. I'm just putting it out there. Hey, man, we ain't got one life to live, brother. You feel me? And we ain't got one life to live, and I'm trying to tell you that it's doable. Because I wanted to take pictures and memories for our audience to say that, hey, man, let's go on this journey with us. You know, we're been to Philly, so that's up the road. You dig?
Huh. Yeah, I've
I
never
don't
been.
know. I
I've
don't know. I don't know
driven.
about every stadium because I don't want to see the Wizards play. I don't like watching Wizards. That's a wasted
I've
trip.
I've driven by um Lincoln Financial Field a bunch of times.
Yeah, we did.
Never yeah, I was with you the
Yeah,
last
we
time I
sure
went
was.
by and
Yeah,
but never actually watched a game, but I did watch a game at the Vet.
I did too.
I watched the Bears
I
play
did.
the
Now,
Eagles at the Vet.
I didn't see a football game, but remember they shared the stadium with Phillies
Yes.
at the time? I did see a Phillies game in the vet. Rough field, by the way. Whew, that was a terrible field.
Yeah.
Man, they played on concrete. They were some
Yeah.
warriors back then,
That's
man.
when it was different.
It was way different, brother.
That's when it
Woo!
was different. Yep.
So, Gil,
Yes, sir.
is it is it fantasy?
Well, before fantasy, if I may,
Okay.
I got a question. I have a college football question
Okay.
for you. So Lane Kiffin is the big
Yeah.
name in college football right now, head coach.
Yeah.
He is coaching Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And right now they're having a great year
They are.
and they're on pace to make the college football playoffs. Do you think what do you think he's going to do and what do you think he should do? Should he stay at Ole Miss? Should he take the Florida Gator job or should he take the LSU job?
Wow. I knew you were
Those are the three. I'm not counting Penn State. I don't.
man, that's crazy.
I'm not counting Penn State. I'm counting just those three. What do you think he's going to do? What do you think he should do?
You know, built a great program in Ole Miss. He,
Very good.
he really has. Um, but that the two jobs you say are very coveted jobs, especially the LSU job. It's coveted. It's coveted. It's a greater attraction, a greater draw. Both
Both
of
both
both of them,
both
Florida and LSU.
Gator
Man.
and
Um,
Tiger.
man, I think he likes challenges. I think it's any coach. You know what I mean? It's any coach. He said he's cool, but they all say that in season.
Mhm.
Man, I can see him taking an LSU job, man.
What do you think he should do? What do you think he will do?
I think he should take the LSU job.
Mhm.
That or Florida, but I'll say I can't say or. So let's say I think he should take the LSU job because I think the recruitment out there is different. They're going to get top level recruits. Um, to build that up to the standard that it's used to being is
Mhm.
another thing. We talking about legacy though, man. Which one we have a better legacy though? I think he would probably have a better legacy if he went to Florida. Because if he could turn around Florida, that'd be crazy. Me personally, I would stay at Ole Miss. You know what I mean? I would. It took me time to build that up. Um, and in the route he's going, especially recruiting everything, what he's doing, he has a good chance of really solidifying that as a great program. No different than
Mhm.
Alabama. You know, what Saban was doing in Alabama. I think he could do the same thing in Ole Miss. What you think?
I'm pretty much in agreement with you. I think he should stay at Ole Miss. There's far less pressure, and plus you're playing all the good teams in the SEC anyway.
Hmm.
So I would stay, but I think he's going. I think by him refusing to say I'm staying means he's going, and I
Yeah.
think it is going to be LSU.
Yep.
That's my guess. And I think he's only had one job where he unpacked his suitcase, and that was USC.
Y'all
I
see,
think
yup.
every job he had before that and since then, the suitcase has stayed packed.
That's a
And
fact.
I think if he goes to either Florida or LSU, the suitcase gets unpacked again. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be LSU, but he's following. There's going to be a lot more pressure with both of those schools than there is Ole Miss, and he's following some great head coaches that won at both programs.
Indeed.
Uh, uh,
Saban.
uh, Saban won,
Yup.
and so did Les Miles.
Les Miles. And then down in Florida, you had a Meyer, Urban
You
Meyer.
had and you had before him
And
Steve Spurrier.
Steve Spurrier.
You
Yup.
had Spurrier and Meyer. So you know you're following big footsteps. But if you want the challenge, and I think he does, and I think he'll be good. I think he'll be good at either place. I think it's going to be LSU.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think it's going to be LSU. Florida's going to look for somebody else. Penn State's going to look for somebody
Yeah.
else. But
Yeah.
there's some big schools that are looking for head coaches.
State.
And if he leaves, Ole Miss is going to look for a
Miss.
head
Yup.
coach.
And you know,
So
Franklin got a job at Virginia Tech.
yeah, what a downgrade. I can't, but that's am I wrong?
Nah,
Am I wrong? I mean, I guess he wasn't going to get one of those big name schools like we were just talking
he
about.
wasn't gonna get no
Well,
Florida. Heck no. You
he
got
wasn't
5.
going to get no Ole Miss,
He wasn't getting that. No, he wasn't
but
getting that. I mean, he get a chance to see what he could do.
I guess build up that
Build it
resume.
up.
But you know, he starts doing good there. He's going to leave. It's going to
Oh, he's
leave
definitely gonna
again.
leave. He's
It's going to
definitely gonna
leave.
leave.
That's what they do. We know what the big schools are. We know
Yeah,
what the power schools are. We
yeah.
know what they're looking for. So, and it ain't
It ain't
it
that.
ain't it ain't that.
It ain't
No.
that.
No, no,
Oh,
no. All
buddy.
right, brother. Let's get into the NFL.